Can you say you've been a part of the structured word inquiry movement if you haven't had someone tell you it's etymonline, not morphonline? Can't even say it. This is a really common phrase for people to hear when they're getting started with word inquiry and word study at the morphological level, using etymology to help them understand the history of words and this important step of words being related to understand whether or not they can share the same base. However, etymonline does not give us all of the answers, and so this is where people spout this out all the time of it's etymonline, not morphonline. And I got a great question from one of my email list subscribers asking, how do you take a word like contraction and know what the base is? So if you just go to etymology, which is a great place to start, you're going to see under contraction that there is this con prefix plus the Latin verb trahere. And to get from that trah to tract could feel like a stretch. So this is another opportunity for us to take that Latin verb and now type it into a Latin dictionary so that we can see the four principal parts. Without that step, there's a lot of words that are not going to make sense, and we're not going to understand why the base is what it is and what the relatives are. And so if you type that trahere into a Latin dictionary, like latin-dictionary.net, you're going to see four principal parts again. And this fourth one gives us the tract because we can peel off that stem to give us the base. Now from there, we can look at all sorts of other words that have a tract in them and learn whether or not they're related. We cannot assume that every word that has a tract in it is built off the same base, but if we can find out that it's related to that Latin verb, that means to draw together, to pull, they are going to be able to share the matrix. Let's say you wanted to find out if attraction is related to contraction. Again, you could type in attract or attraction into etymology. You see, oh yeah, there's an assimilated form of the AD prefix for to. So that AD becomes an AT because the base following it is a T, which prefixes assimilate all the time. They become similar to the form that they are fixing themselves to. And look at that, we have the trahere, Latin verb, trahere. So yes, we know they're related. And it's important to do this for each word if we don't know, because there's a lot of times where we think, for sure it's going to be related, and it won't be. You go through all those steps to double check if you're building a matrix your own, if you're building a word family. Something I haven't been modeling a lot in my previous videos that I want to model with you today is if you wanted to spell out one of these words with somebody, spelling them out loud. Let's start with subtraction. You would have it written. I really like having the words written for kids, so they're not getting quizzed. They get to practice with the visual there first. So you would have the word written out, subtraction, and we would group the prefixes and the suffixes, and our rhythm helps us. So it would be an SUB, TRACTION. Whatever form of tapping you want, you can do. Some kids really like to tap, some don't, but I like there to be a distinct rhythm between those parts. This is based off of Pete Bauer's spelling out loud, and there's a long history of the importance of practicing spelling out loud and then in writing. There's a lot of documentation that recall practice is important. So if we can spell a word, we can read it. So start by practicing with it visible, and then once kids have had ample time try to get some writing in of the word or words in this family without looking at them, if that's possible. I think whether or not that is a fair thing to do depends on a child and their skills. So if a child has really significant sequencing or retrieval challenges related to dyslexia, this might not be a kind activity to participate in. And having the visual is great, and then practicing with that visual and writing with a visual is necessary. And for a lot of other kids, they can practice repeatedly, get chances to recall the word over time, sometimes with it in front of them, sometimes not. Every kid's different. Every person's different in how much they're going to need of that before a spelling is solidified. And our expectations of them should not be perfection. So we've got to keep in mind what each particular child is working with and what our goals are when we're doing these recall activities. I really love using this word family to study contractions. I think it's a great opportunity to show how two words are pulled together into one. Because this base means to draw, to pull, it helps kids understand this word. Pulling things together, contractions are pulling two words together. So that's a great aspect of the writing system you can look at. You can also teach it about contracting a muscle, or one of my favorite books for this family is Elise Gravel's The Slug, because she's got retractable and contracting in here too. So you can talk about how a slug contracts its body. Also think this word family is a really excellent teacher of the ION suffix. I like teaching this suffix with words that have a very clear ending of a T, like action. In this case, contract, contraction, subtract, subtraction, because it's very obvious to kids how that goes from the T spelling a T to a sh. And this palatalization that happens is much clearer than in words where like a final E is replaced, just because it's obviously that ION and the sound is shifting. Attract, attraction. We can see how we go from attract to that at the end to attraction, where the T is now spelling a sh. I greatly prefer the structured word inquiry elegance of the ION suffix. We only have to teach one suffix that is doing this job, and that is how the words are built. There is no TION getting added to action. It's not ACT TION, it's ACT ION. There's not a T overlap, and that's what's so awesome about word sums, is that there's consistent rules that can be followed. Obviously, it's great to teach what the ION does. In this case, it's getting attached to a verb, forming nouns. So the verb to act, I am acting out something. Well, when I'm acting out something, the noun I'm taking is action. And we can test using our syntactic tests can have lots of actions. I am taking the action towards something. There's lots of places you can go with this. And if you're signed up for my weekly email, you will get a PDF in your inbox the end of this week. Right? Thanks.